Lost Impact. 2, we get the third swing Giratina cleaning house on the world champion deck. Giratina VSTAR is here, and it is an absolute beast. In a previous video, I showcased what the Giratina Lost Zone deck can do, and it's absolutely nuts how it has the ability to hit for 280 damage. It can just erase a Pokemon off the board. You also get access to the Lost Zone engine with Comfey and a whole bunch of single prize attackers that just give you a whole bunch of different ways to engage in the battle. But what if you want something a little simpler, something a little more straightforward, and arguably something more consistent? I'm Jet from inthirdperson.com. Make sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and let's talk about Arceus with Giratina. So you already know what Arceus does. At least I assume. I'm sorry. You know what? Arceus VSTAR, 280 HP, has the move Trinity Nova, which does 200 damage, and you get to accelerate 3 energy to the bench. And it's got Starbirth, a phenomenal ability that helps you get any 2 cards that you want, which is amazing for setting up. And you're going to Starbirth or you're going to Trinity Charge or Trinity Nova onto Giratina VSTAR, which helps you cover the awkward attack cost of 1 grass, 1 psychic, 1 colorless energy. Now, the big thing about this combo is that when you use Lost Impact, it's 280 damage, and you put 2 energy attached to your Pokemon in the Lost Zone. What it doesn't specify is that it doesn't have to be on Giratina. What you can do is actually just detach energy from Arceus, use your 280, knock out a V-Star in 1 hit, maybe even knock out a V-Max with a Choice Belt, and then you've still got all of that energy on Giratina to attack again. And there aren't that many decks that can hit 280 clean, which gives you an amazing advantage, being able to knock out two prize Pokemon, even possibly get back-to-back V-Maxes in one go before they can knock you out, which is absolutely insane. And to help us out with this combo, we've got Bidoof to help us draw cards, Crobat to help us draw cards. I have Dunsparce in here because there's been a little bit of an uptick on fighting. You might want to take this out if you feel like you're not running into that many fighting Pokemon. And we've also got the Zigzagoon for the Zigzagoon plays with the Choice Belt, either in the early game where you can use Arceus and take 220 damage off an opposing Pokemon V in the active and stop the game before it really starts, or you can use this in tandem with Giratina with a Choice Belt and you're hitting 320 damage, which is enough to knock out a V-Max in 1 swing. And just in case, we've got a Pumpkaboo here as well, knockoff Path to the Peak, so when it is time for you to use your V-Star power, you can have that ready to go. In terms of support cards, we've got 2 Incense, 1 Heavy Ball in order to grab any of these basic Pokemon from your prizes and bring it into your hand. That can be really handy. 1 Ordinary Rod, because this deck runs a little light on energy, and you might need something like a Pumpkaboo or a Zigzagoon to use again, and you can get those back. We've got 4 Quick Balls, 2 Switches, 2 Ultra Balls in case you need to grab your evolutions, your Giratina V-Stars, your Arceus V-Stars, or what have you. 2 Paths to the Peak, 3 Boss's Orders for gusting, 1 Cheren's Care just to get that hurt Arceus back out. You loop into another Arceus and you can win the war of attrition. I mean, it's definitely not as grindy as something like an Arceus Inteleon, but Cheren's Care can be an absolute lifesaver in this deck. We've also got 4 Marnies, 2 Professor's Research, 1 Raihan, just in case you need to accelerate out of nowhere, 1 Big Charm to be a little more tanky, particularly for your Arceus, 2 Choice Belts for the big hits, and then in terms of energy spread, we're going with 13 energy here, 4 Double Turbos, which not only accelerate Arceus, but you can attach them to any Pokemon, use your Giratina attack, detach the Double Turbo, and just keep firing. And then we've got 1 Capture Energy just to help set up a little better, 4 Grass, and 4 Psychic. Can't wait to show you how powerful this deck is, so let's go! Let's take a moment here. I just wanted to say thank you so much for your continued support of the channel on YouTube and on Twitch and everywhere else that In Third Person is. I truly appreciate it. And I did want to say, like, when I record these, Usually it's live, I'm on Twitch, and there's people to bounce off of and talk with, and our conversations usually isn't just about the game, though I very much am carrying with commentary and all that. But when I'm recording these videos, which I am right now, I'm not live anywhere, it feels like I lose that part of the conversational banter from these videos, which I do enjoy, even if it's like clip from a stream and I wasn't there for full context. I feel like it adds a level of like personality to these videos that doesn't always show up when I'm just recording and I'm telling you like, I'm gonna play this energy on this Pokemon and so on and so forth. Okay, we have some choices we can make here. We can try and gamble and press for a double turbo energy, or we can just settle for the capture energy and pray that we don't get blown out on the following turn. I think it's going to depend on what we're up against, though. We're up against the fighting deck. That's not good. Thankfully, we have Dunsparce, but we don't have Manaphy. So, depending on what we're up against, if it's against Urshifu, we're going to have kind of a sad time. Okay, I have a feeling this is Arceus Flying Pikachu. Sure. Not sure how we stack up here, but I guess we will find out. Hopefully we stack up okay. I think that we should have one hit KO potential on Pikachu if we can get a Choice Belt onto the Giratina, though I don't know if we're gonna get Giratina on the board fast enough. At least get them charged up fast enough. I'm not necessarily worried. I'm gonna guess they don't play into the... Here we go. So we do get something down here. Let's go with... I'm not gonna go with the Dunsparce. I'll go with the Bidoof here. And I'm gonna hold on to my hand for the time being. This is fine. Assuming we're playing for... Assuming we don't get knocked out here, and maybe they have the Zigzagoon Choice Belt combo. I think it's more important to get into Arceus, get Giratina charged up, and hopefully we can smash on a following turn. And if we lose the... If they draw first blood, that kind of is what it is, but Giratina does give us some comeback potential there in terms of being able to knock out a second, like an Arceus or a Flying Pikachu for free. So let's see how they play it. They did throw out one of them. All we have to do, if they're going to try and lean into the Decidueye, is throw down Dunsparce, assuming we have an easy out to a Dunsparce. I think we'll see what we get off of Arceus VSTAR and this Marnie before we make that decision. But there's a potential for us to do okay here. They do get their capture energy, and let's see how hard they're going to lean into the Decidueye. Right now, are you going to play it? Are you going to play it? Definitely a big question for Arceus decks. Do you play Dunsparce? Do you not play Dunsparce? And it just kind of goes with the weather, right? If people are playing fighting decks, you put the Dunsparce in, then the fighting decks go away for other reasons, and then you take the Dunsparce out and the cycle continues. So I think they're kind of debating here. Do you go Flying Pikachu and possibly cough up 3 prizes to Giratina? Do you try and go Arceus and try and take potentially 4 prizes if you can knock out 2 Arceus V-Stars? I don't think they think that I have a Dunsparce in here, which I do. So yeah, they're going with the Decidueye. That's fair. I guess worst case scenario, they lose 2 prizes on that, and it's not as big of a commitment as Flying Pikachu at this point, but let's see. Now you pop. And hopefully we can get like a quick ball or something, and then we can nullify the impact of Decidueye, because I think if Decidueye is not hitting for weakness, it's kind of a bust. I do hate playing second so much in this game, and I really hope that in the upcoming Scarlet and Violet era of the game, they had mentioned EX Pokemon and a comeback mechanic of sorts, because it feels like with the way that the game is right now, first player has such a big advantage. Being able to hit a big V in the first turn, on their second turn, possibly take 2 prizes, right? Like if they Zigzagoon Choice Belt us here, we're dead and it's over and it doesn't even matter. And we're going to get Marnied here, which is not ideal. We were going to Marnie anyway, but I really wanted to use the Arceus. They're probably going to play Path to the Peak here as well, which would be bad, especially since our hand is hot garbage. Oof. They did not do us any favors, and they have locked us down, and now we might be dead. And what am I supposed to do at this point? I can go into Arceus and then lose. I can get a Pumpkaboo and knock that off, and then I still have nothing. I think that we have to go into Bibarel and pray is really all this comes down to. This does suck. Like, it wasn't... This game really just came down to... Like, I don't think I did anything wrong, but they've now just set up so much better. And they've spread all their options out. Okay. So let's go with this. And basically, we are going to Bibarel and pray. And if we don't get anything good off the Bibarel, this game is over. So let's go Giratina and pray. And we will Giratina. Here we go. We do get a Professor's Research, so we get another kick at the can here. And we do get Arceus VSTAR. That's great. And we do have an out to a Pumpkaboo here too, which is fantastic. And we do have Pumpkaboo in the active. Great. Pop that. Yes. And now we can play. So we'll get a double turbo energy and a... Get a double turbo and... Actually, let's get a second double turbo. This might be a mistake, but hear me out. Hear me out. We're going to load up all this energy onto Giratina. We're going to lose the Arceus. It sucks. We can't Raihan here after we lose Arceus. I kind of hope they go into Flying Pikachu. Going into Flying Pikachu would be amazing for us, because we do have that one-hit KO threat on them. They are going to boss up probably Giratina here. Nope. That's an odd choice, but fine. They might be a little stuck, and that's actually kind of bad for them, because if we can swing like crazy with Giratina here, they have no energy left. Uh-oh. What's the most dangerous thing on the board? If we can cherry pick anything, if they have no energy left, we might actually just stay. We might actually just stay and knock out this Arceus, and we'll take out this double turbo. They have nothing that's going to one-hit KO us. We have another boss in hand. Even if they attack with anything else here. I don't think they should have taken out that Arceus. This is bad. Like, if they get the double turbo and the Flying Pikachu VMAX, I'm taking 3 prizes. Okay, let's not get cocky. There are potentially still ways in which they can win this. They are going to play Lumineon here, and I don't know what that means. Are they going to Marnie Path? I don't know if that means much, but let's see. I actually wouldn't like to be Marnie Pathed right now if that is the play. If they're going to boss, that's fine. Because we potentially have outs for that too. Let's see how they roll with it. Yeah, there's the Marnie. Okay. And now they Marnie and pray. I think they overcommitted on... Yeah, this deck does run a little light on energy. They do put energy on the Decidueye, so they can hit for Shred. And they're not going to be able to gust up anything at this point. Where we potentially have a problem, and they're probably going to swing with this, is that now we're a little short on resources because we don't have our draw engine ready, and we don't have our... They are going to go... I would guess they'd go into Flying Pikachu here. Nope. Oh, no, they can't go into Flying Pikachu because they can't attach any more energy. So we need to take like one more big KO here. I think, yeah, we put the Big Charm on the Arceus and hope that it lives. And hope that in the next two top decks, we get outs to more energy. Ideally, double turbos. I think, like, I would love to start charging up this one. I don't know if we're going to get a chance to. We're going to have to knock this double turbo out on the next one. If I attach here, then I potentially have... If they boss this up, and then we're... I think we're okay. Okay, they're not going to commit to a Decidueye hit here. I don't know if I agree with that. But we will Lost Impact. We'll take our 2 prizes, and we'll discard the double turbo here. And... I think that's game. We have Path to the Peak. We have another Giratina. That doesn't really help us at all. Like, what are you putting in the active at this point that is going to hit? You're going to do 60, 90, 250. Can this one hit KO us? I don't think it can. Even if they discard all the energy, I don't think they can one hit KO us. So here we go. This was... We're up against the World Champion deck. Does the World Champion deck have what it takes? And they're going to boss up the... You boss up anything. I think you just lose. And we didn't go first, and we still are about to get the win here unless something freaky deaky happens, which I don't foresee. We should just get 2 prizes off of whatever comes next. Because there's no... Yeah. This should be game, and my complaining was all for naught. And we'll take the win here. The Decidueye does hit big. It's gonna hit for weakness. It would have been nice if we had Dunsparce down. I think we were low enough on health that they would have knocked us out anyway. Please let me get my attack off. I'm just gonna do it. Let's hear. Here we go. Lost Impact. 2, we get the 3rd swing Giratina cleaning house on the World Champion deck. Not trying to diss Andre Scubal. I think he's a phenomenal player. I love playing that Arceus Flying Pikachu Decidueye deck. if you've probably already seen it on the channel at this point, but I made a video covering the Samurott deck. He was planning on playing at one of the recent regional tournaments, but we were able to take that out, and that was kind of a crazy game. Giratina really showing off its strength there with one-hit KO potential. Didn't matter. You couldn't hit it for weakness. Everything with the Choice Belt on, it was gonna hit for 310 damage, which is enough to one-hit KO the Flying Pikachu as well. Sure, they got to get their big hit on Arceus, but we ended up just absolutely smashing through that deck. Great job, Giratina. GG's. Well, this is not ideal. Let's go and start with the Dunsparce. At the worst case, it's probably easy to get out of the active, or at the very least, or like at worst, is a low risk of, if we get knocked out, it is what it is. Unfortunately, we've kind of bricked pretty hard here, and I mean, we could just, I'm gonna Crobat here. Let's risk it. Let's risk it. Worst case, I just delete this video and no one ever sees what happens here. This is actually much better. Thank you. Okay, that's a much better first turn. We can get a Choice Belt. We can get, wow, they've got the Drapion ready to go, trying to take out my Mew VMAX. It's not going to be particularly helpful here. Let's see what they've got. Okay, this is just a, oh no, and we're getting Marnied again. Okay. That's actually kind of a goated start, and a coughing. Up until this point, you haven't seen any of the matches. We've played 3 straight Wheezing decks. It's crazy right now on the ladder how many people are playing Wheezing to shut down abilities, and it's not just, yeah, you shut down Shady Dealings, you shut down the Lost Zone engine, you shut down Bibarel. It's nuts. It's gonna shut down Arceus VSTAR here too, if they can get their stuff going into the active, which they might be able to. Actually, yeah, they will. They will get it in the active. They will pop off, and they're gonna Galar Mine, and we're stuck. We need a switch card right now, which we're not going to get. And I can actually, do we double turbo here, or do we just capture and get something? I think we capture energy here. Yeah, let's capture energy on the Giratina. And do we just throw down the Pumpkaboo? I think we might just throw down the Pumpkaboo just to get rid of their Galar Mine. Oh, wait, that doesn't do anything. Oh, no, that was a misplay. I didn't realize we wouldn't get the ability if we just played the Pumpkaboo on the bench. So that's awful. Okay. And the last card is Professor's Research as well. Of course, it's Professor's Research. What does this do? This hits for 250 minus 10 for each damage counter on this Pokemon. We probably should have used, yeah, if we can get Zigzagoon on the board, that would be incredible. I don't know if we're going to get to do that right now. Now we get the switch. Okay. We will, however, get Giratina VSTAR online, which is good. Although we will be kind of short on stuff we can do, assuming this knocks us out on the next turn. So we may front load the energy on the Giratina. And pray that we can get some more stuff going. Hopefully we don't get knocked out here, is the goal. And we can just knock this out, no problem. And they are going to lead with coughing, probably have wheezing, just trying to stall the game so that they can continue to charge up Drapion for their one-hit KO on Arceus. I don't appreciate that one bit. Ideally, we can get if we can get a Zigzagoon ping in the next turn, that would be incredible. Just to soften this up so it can't one-hit KO either Arceus or Giratina. If they one-hit KO Giratina, that would be an absolute nightmare. And you're going to get the Pokegear, and what do they pull? Dun, 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 dun. I don't think they hit what they were looking for, or they're debating. Do they boss up now? Yeah, Giratina's an insane boss target. And we didn't get rid of Zigzagoon yet, so it could be in the deck. Kind of hoping it's in the prizes right now, just so we can ping this for one. And they do grab a Marnie, and I actually don't mind if they Marnied us here, please. I can't remember if they played a supporter. Let's go see. They drew Marnie, played Pokegear. And I don't think they've played a supporter just... Oh, I didn't mean to copy that to the clipboard. Marnie us. Please Marnie us. You love to... This deck loves to Marnie. They just want us to never have a stable hand. You need the energy. They are going to go boss. Uh-oh. Okay. They're going to go and boss up Crobat. And that's not... Oh, there's our second Giratina. That's amazing. So we will put energy on the Giratina. We will switch to Arceus, and we're going to let it rip on our Marnie. And now, even if they knock out this Arceus, or even if they knock out this Giratina, I hope we have the second Giratina VSTAR in our deck, or I pull it in this prize. No, we just got the heavy ball back. Okay. We have lots of material. We have lots of energy on the board to work with here. So we're not as concerned about... Yeah, this is going to one-hit KO, and that sucks. We still have 3 double turbos in the deck. So we shouldn't be too worried about... we shouldn't be too worried about running out of energy here. They are going to take 2 prizes. They do have the 1 prize lead, at least temporarily. And let's go throw a fat choice belt on here. And let's go an ordinary rod here before we throw it out. Let's go do both. I probably didn't need the Dunsparce or the Arceus. Let's just take an Arceus V. And we'll take that grass energy. And let's go attach energy to the Giratina. And heavy ball. Okay, 1 of our double turbos is there. 2 of our Marnies is there. That's not good. We're going to ride it out with Giratina for the rest of this game. And that might actually be a little bit of a problem in the sense that... Okay, here we go. We do have Path to the Peak, so we do shut off their VSTAR power, which I guess doesn't matter as much. We can't afford to put... let's put the Charm here, and... Yeah, we'll hold out on putting the Zigzagoon. We got the Zigzagoon 1 turn too late. We do have double Giratina VSTAR. That's goated. And we're going to Lost Impact, get rid of 2 energy here. We can get rid of the Capture energy and a Psychic energy. And we get a Marnie and another Marnie. That's too many Marnies. And I think we should have... I mean, they could stall for time a little longer. And, yeah, here comes the Wheezing. Potentially another Drapion play. I think our big concern is we really need to roll into a double turbo here. And they're probably going to retreat the Crobat into the Wheezing and stall for 1 more turn. No. Okay, they're going to swing and then retreat, right? Is that how this works? Okay, no. They're just going to hide. Okay, they'll probably just retreat into a Weezing or a Manaphy or something to stall the game for one more turn. If we had Boss, we could just win here. And they're going to Dark Patch onto, I guess, the Drapion, right? Yeah. And let's see how they go about the rest of this. But double Giratina, yeah, we just need energy. That's it. Ideally, a Boss would be even better, but yeah, once they retreat into something else, we should have one-hit KO on everything on their board going forward. Yep, going into the Manaphy, they're going to lock down with the Galar Mine. And we get the double turbo. That's amazing. We're going to throw back down, Path to the Peak. We're going to attach a double turbo to this Crobat because it doesn't matter. We will actually hold on to our hand just in case they try something cheeky with bossing something up that shouldn't. And this should be game. I don't see a world in which they can come back at this point. Watch, there's some sort of crazy spread damage thing. They will Marnie us anyway. That's unfortunate. How many Marnie? Yeah, it feels like these Weezing decks run 14 Marnies. I don't understand. And look, it looks like there's only one here, but we do get the other double turbo. We can smash anything at this point. And if we have to retreat something to get the smash, we can do that too. So let's see how they do it. They get the Drapion VSTAR in. How many? I'm sure they've played 2 Marnies so far. Okay. I think it's just because I've played this deck 3 times in a row that I'm very sensitive to Marnie. I think we all are sensitive to Marnies, right? It feels great to do that, except when you get bad cards, and we got the win. GG's. And that Drapion deck was more interesting than I thought it would be. I think having the potential to one-hit KO V-Stars there with the Choice Belt and then using Weezing to stall for time was really smart, and the Dark Patches to accelerate faster, and you could use Crobat to do the whole like stealth poison into the Weezings. Interesting game plan. I think that we were able to get set up just enough at the beginning to get our Giratinas going, and by the end of the game, it was kind of nuts how we had double Giratina with all of the energy attached, with extra energy in our clip that we could just discard as we go to hit for 280 every turn or 310 every turn with the Choice Belt, hit up to 320 with the Zigzagoon. It's kind of nuts, and that is part of why I like the Arceus Giratina archetype, especially if you're playing against multi-prize decks, V Max, V Stars. This absolutely has the tools to go up against pretty much any of them. GG's. There you have it. There is some Arceus Giratina action. It is definitely a powerhouse deck that if you are looking to fight in a tournament or online against some of the beefier V and V Max decks, Arceus Giratina is an amazing choice for that because of the ability to flood the board with energy, with Giratina being able to take one-hit KOs on Vs and V-Stars and potentially even V-Max Pokemon as well. It is incredible for that. I do think that it does have some challenges against single prize decks, of which there are many on PTCGO right now, and it does kind of suck that you lose access to Star Requiem because that requires you to have a ton of cards in the Lost Zone, and this particular deck doesn't leverage the Lost Zone mechanic at all. So that's something to keep in mind there. Between the two decks, and I put out a video talking about the differences between the Giratina Lost Zone deck and this Arceus deck. I think that the Arceus Giratina deck is probably a little more consistent, and this can be especially helpful in more of a tournament environment where people are playing big V and V Max decks. But I think overall the Lost Zone version has a higher ceiling because it's more of a boxed deck that has single prize attackers, and Giratina hits like crazy, and Star Requiem can just let you erase a Pokemon off the board. It is very scary. It can be very fiddly, but I think that in a vacuum, when you take like these two decks side by side, I think the Lost Zone engine is a little better, but it is also harder to play. It can be a little more prone to fits and starts than the Arceus one. That being said, the Arceus deck lives and dies like all Arceus decks, where you really need to get the Arceus down turn 1 and an energy attachment, and if you don't get that, you're screwed. But do you feel more comfortable being able to get Arceus down turn 1 with an energy, or do you feel like you can get 2 Comfeys and 3 to 4 cards in the Lost Zone in your first turn with a Colress as well? That choice is yours to make. All right, so there you have it. I hope you enjoyed the video. Hope you enjoyed the matches and the insights. I appreciate you watching this far into the video. Before we go, a couple quick plugs. You can find me on all of the platforms: YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, and Twitter at In Third Person. You can also find me on Twitch, where we stream the Pokemon TCG every Sunday, 9 a.m. Eastern Time. Would love to see you there, answer any questions you have. And also check out my website, inthirdperson.com, for more articles and videos on video games, board games, and other nerdy pursuits. So until next time, my name is Jet. Thank you for watching, and we're out of here. Later.